And coming up next for us, what to do if your dog is neurotic. Right now we have a message with Nancy Foreman. Nancy? If your dog is acting strange at times, if he's anxious and fearful, if suddenly he begins to have accidents on the rug, or he growls at you or your kids unexpectedly, maybe, just maybe, your dog is simply not well adjusted. Neurotic, perhaps. Warren Eckstein is here with us to talk about that. Warren is kind of a dog psychologist, a dog trainer, really. He's referred to often as a dog shrink, and he says that many dogs are insecure, just like people. Good morning, Warren.
Morning,
we should mention also that you are the owner of the largest pet training facility in the city of New York.
Right, right. And we do all of our training in the homes of the clients so that we can work with the neurotic families as well as the neurotic dogs.
In the homes. You make house calls.
Yeah, we believe in training in the environment where the dog ultimately has to respond. The reason being is we can expose the dog to natural environmental distractions. Kids on bicycles in the suburbs or people using jackhammers in Midtown Manhattan.
What are the traits, besides the one I mentioned, the several I mentioned, the accidents on the rugs and what have you?
Neurotic behavior can display itself in many ways. Hyperactivity would be one way. A dog that's receiving too little exercise may display neurotic behavior. Over-aggression, under-aggression. Fearfulness would also be the type of dog that runs under a table when corrected and growls at its owner. And shyness could all be examples of what we classify as a neurotic dog.
Now we have Juno here.
Right.
Good morning, Juno. Does Juno know is it a he?
It's a he.
It's a he.
It's a he.
Yes, he's very good.
Yeah, Juno at the beginning, believe it or not, almost caused a divorce. He had totally destroyed his owner's living room set. He chewed a couch apart, he chewed a chair apart, chased children down the block, chased bicycles, chased people, other dogs, and was displaying classic neurosis.
And then they called Warren Eckstein.
And then they called Warren Eckstein.
The doctor, the shrink.
The shrink. And we put him through some basic obedience training, again in the home, so we can expose him to schoolyards. And we worked with him around shopping areas and shopping centers and kids on bicycles and nursery schools to expose him to, again, the natural environment. And obviously it's working out pretty well. Now,
we have some tape of you and exactly the way you do this. So we're going to take a look at that now.
Okay.
And you can tell us just exactly
Sure.
what it's all about.
This is a very rare breed dog. It's called the Chinese Shar-Pei. There's only 160 of them in the country. That's us going to our client. That's Kui Fei. Kui Fei is 4.5 months old, and you can see the behavior he's displaying. This is the beginning. Jumping all over and trying to get out. What we're going to be doing is putting him on a lead and collar, and then we're going to be taking him down in the elevator, in a very crowded elevator, to expose him to that because his owners live in a high-rise situation, so an elevator is going to be a very common reaction for the dog to have to respond under.
No wonder he's neurotic. I'd be neurotic if I lived in the city, too. Are country dogs neurotic, too?
Country dogs can be neurotic also. They just have to be exposed to different situations, such as horses, cows, chickens. Here we're working him in the lobby of the hotel where the clients live, and the reason for this is, again, to expose him to the natural environment. In a few seconds, you're going to notice I'm going to stamp my foot loudly, and I'm going to get a response from the dog, and that's just to expose him to that natural sound that he may hear. Okay? And then I'm going to praise him right away so the sound doesn't necessarily respond to fear. Here we're walking him down Madison Avenue, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to have my assistant come out with a pot and pan, again, just to familiarize the dog with different sounds that he may encounter and show him that all these loud sounds are not necessarily bad.
By the way, shrinks are expensive. Our dog shrink, what do you charge?
It's a very varying range of prices depending on the degree or the severity of the problem. It can range anywhere from $200 to $2,000 and more if we have a really, really bad problem.
And I suppose it takes as much time as it takes.
Anywhere from 6 weeks to a year and a half.
Now, we have often heard horror stories about dogs attacking babies. You deal with that? Yeah,
one of the things that we've tried to do throughout New York and around the country is teach expectant parents how to deal with the problem if they have a pre-existing dog. Society, the way it is nowadays, a lot of people get married and decide to put off having children for a while, and after 6 or 7 months to fulfill some psychological need, they get a dog or a cat. And then a year or two later, this puppy that's been receiving all their attention is encountered, okay, with different problems. So what we do is we expose the dog to things that he would normally encounter, such as diapers, the smell of baby powder, mobiles, okay, because these are all strange noises. Just
Juno's been through this.
Yeah, Juno's been through some of this training. To give you an example, this to a dog.
I don't think we have time for an example. No, he says our time is up. But Juno, turn around and face the camera as we say thank you very much.
Okay.
He is good now, though, isn't he?
He's much, much better, and when they decide to have children, he's going to be fine with them.
Okay. Warren Eckstein, thank you very, very much
It's been a
for bringing
pleasure.
your dog and your baby stuff. And
thank you.